Hi, neighbor Rich. Welcome to the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day here. Sun is shining, the sky is blue, the flowers are blooming, and everything will be pretty quiet until my next door neighbor gets his TRX started up with that new extremely loud Corsa exhaust. Anyhow, that's life in the 717 neighborhood. I am really happy about doing this upload today because, one of the things is every time in the spring I start thinking about, having a motorcycle. And I know that's kind of crazy, but, I keep thinking about it. And so, but the first phase of anytime you're looking to buy anything, the first phase is always going to be just educating yourself, knowing your products, knowing what you're looking at. And so honestly, I want to get some idea of the bikes that are out there and what I might want to actually buy. And so I'm going to actually go over and talk to a friend of mine who owns a bike shop, and we'll see what happens. And when you start talking about spring and springtime, one of the other things you always think about doing is a little spring cleaning. And so what I've actually done is, and it's kind of nice, I've actually done a little bit of spring cleanup. And, there was a desk here for many, many years. And I actually gave it to Street Speed for his new offices. And I redid my back wall behind my Z06. And so we just kind of walked through it because obviously the American flag, I'm real happy about that. Street Speed had a C8 artwork that he didn't see a place for. And he actually gave that to me. So that was kind of cool. And then of course I've got my reserved Corvette parking only. The legend lives on with a Corvette. And one of my favorite sayings of all time, do one thing every day that makes you happy. There's no question, I absolutely try to do that every day. And then this is the bag that my Corvette cover came in, and so that's that. This, a lot of people say, Rich, why do you have a Happy Meal hanging in your garage? Well, actually, that was a trophy. What happened was when Street Speed had his Viper, we went up to the Poconos and we did a little racing. Whoever won, they had to buy the other guy a Happy Meal. And that is my trophy. And then, lastly, somebody, a friend of mine down in Miami, Gerald, he tried to convince me that I needed to be a Miami Dolphins fan. So anyhow, that was pretty much my spring cleaning. And now I'm thinking it's time to head over to Carlisle and let's go see Dodo and his shop. First thing you have to do, push the clutch pedal in, get ready, and hit the engine start. Here we go. Here's my cold start, and we will be on our way. Of course, as always, I've got to always give Street Speed a little welcome to the morning sound. And that'll pretty much do it. We have arrived, as you can see by these bikes, and there's my buddy Dodo. It's incredible the things you do with bikes. I am going to call you Dr. D.
Dr. D.
Dr. D, man, that's all right. There we go, like Dr. D, there you go. So anyhow, what do you got here, man? I'm looking already, and I'm already excited about this. Look at this, man, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, so this is a friend of mine's bike, and yeah, it's a kind of a rare Harley. It's a 90 Fat Bob.
Wow.
And it's in amazing condition for the year.
Yeah.
And the engine's fully built, and it's got a couple of things up its sleeve, but I just almost finished it up. I have to take it for a couple of drives and typical of a Harley to leak oil, so I got to fix that.
Yeah.
But very, very nice machine.
Especially these years. I think they were worse. I think you're right.
So comfortable too.
Yep. Yep. And then you got a Triumph. Look at this.
That's right. So
yeah.
Ended up picking this guy up. So this will be on my channel as my first complete build. So I'll be starting that here soon on my channel.
Now you mentioned your channel. What's your channel?
So Dodo Rados.
Okay.
So I'll give you all the info and you can link it below.
I'll send you a link below. Yep, yep. Awesome. So that people can actually take a look and follow Dodo as well.
Yeah, so I do a lot of motorcycle content, obviously. And for those of you that don't know me, I build super bikes for giveaways with Jarrett Campese. So if you want to link that too,
we'll put his link down there too. What the heck? It's all in the family, you know?
Exactly. So yeah, I work on pretty much everything. My shop is private, so I don't have a business where you can just come hang out and give me your junk. So but yeah, this is my little collection here. Friend's bike there, Triumph Bonneville T100. This is about as stock as you're gonna see it. I have this cool two-stroke Suzuki. It's a TS185. I bought it.
That's a classic too.
Yeah,
really.
I told my wife it was an accident. I accidentally bought it. I went to an auction and I liked it. So that's just a
oops
tinker project. This is my.
Look at this crazy thing. What the heck is this?
That's a Ducati Super Sport that I'm building a scrambler.
Ducati Super Sport. Look at this thing. That's nuts.
So got a lot of.
Look at these nubbies on here. I wouldn't even think you could get those on there.
Yeah, so that's a rear tire in the front. Had some fitment issues, but I got it to work. So this is a custom build that I'm doing as well. This is going to be the next build after the Triumph. And the reason I didn't start with this is because unfortunately I didn't document the process from the bike when I picked it up all the way to where it's at now. And it's got a lot of fabrication done already. So once the Triumph build is finished up, I'll tackle this guy. And then it's on to this one.
Oh man, so you got your projects lined up here.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
This is a 65 British BSA.
Yeah, BSA, man.
That's right. It's got a hardtail, some aluminum wheels, Triumph tank. The engine's already built, 0 miles on that.
Wow.
And, cool thing like this oil tank here that was built from Ducati exhaust. I didn't do that. I can't take it.
I was gonna say that's pretty cool too, man.
And then my trusty R1.
Yeah, your R1.
05.
It's an 05?
05.
Okay.
Yamaha 1000.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a guy that's got an 18 R1 and he's thinking about selling it to me. So I mean that may be one of the bikes. That may be one of the bikes in consideration here. I'm not quite sure.
So there's a couple more. There's I think 2 more bikes that are inside. We can take a look real quick.
Let's move inside. All right, well, we're moving into the shop, and, you know, I've obviously got my Biker Rich outfit on, and looking really dapper. What do you think, Dr. D here?
You're always styling, man. You're always styling.
So anyhow, man, this is your shop. This is neat, man.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is really cool.
I was telling Rich, I'm a little embarrassed. There's a lot of stuff in here. I'm doing spring cleaning and always trying to dig myself out.
Yeah, spring cleaning, I get, you know, that's always.
So don't mind the mess, but typically it's all full of bikes in here and you know, all kinds of fun builds and stuff like things that are taken apart.
But you got, I was gonna say, you got a project going right here. Look at this thing. Look at the wild body on this. The graphics.
Yeah. So this was a build that I did years ago, and it was sold, and then the person that bought it got in an accident, totaled it. Then it came back together, and now we're having some electrical issues. So
you're trying to troubleshoot it and figure it out.
So,
but I mean, you got some great tools here and things to just be able to do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, mill and lathe and drill press and sanders, and got some welders sitting over there. So then my table that I typically do the builds on. We're starting the new build series on Wednesday. I don't know when
you're starting a new build series, huh?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So we just gave a bike.
Is this are you giving me like a hint of what it's going to be, or am I not allowed to tell?
I can tell you.
Okay.
It's a brand new Ducati Panigale V4.
Wow.
So yeah, and we're doing a touch of Lamborghini on it.
Oh man, that ought to be sweet.
So that
ought to be sweet.
We're thinking it's going to be a $100,000 build.
Wow.
So it should be fun if you guys want to enter.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Yep. I'll give you a link. You can enter that one too.
So
look at this. That is really cool looking.
Yeah, I built this bike a couple of years ago. It's a friend of mine, and he said, "Hey, that's actually the same bike as that."
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Just different
style paint.
Yeah. So it's in here for some service. I'm doing tires and things like that. We're doing some upgrades and stuff like that. But
yeah.
So that's the next on the chopping block before the build bike is here.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. Yeah, I see you got a thing over there to do tires and stuff.
I
And
do mounting and
do all your
balancing.
balancing. It's cool.
Yeah.
Man, this shop is awesome though, man. It really, really is. I tell you what, you got all kinds of stuff here, and man, you know, I mean, honestly, I have trouble with a Phillips screwdriver. The only,
Really?
the only way that I know. Wait. See, I mean, honestly, the only way that I really deal with screwdrivers, you take orange juice, and you take vodka, and then you know what? You put some milk of magnesia in it. Then you have a Phillips screwdriver.
Phillips screwdriver.
Yeah, that's the only way I know to make a Phillips screwdriver.
That's awesome.
You're an amazing guy. Like, I'm going to say Dr. D. I know it's Dodo's, and that's fine. But how did you get into all this? I mean, like, what motivated you? I mean, it's obviously your passion, and I love it. I absolutely love it. But how did you get into all this? What's the beginnings of this?
So, when I was young, my dad used to build race cars.
Oh.
And he used to build cars with his friends and stuff like that. And I pretty much grew up in a shop. So I was always intrigued by how somebody can take something apart and then put it back together and it works, you know? So I started taking things apart, except for I couldn't put it back together. So when I was younger,
Oops.
I tell this story to everybody, but when I was younger, it always intrigued me how things work. Toys, you know, machinery, cars, bikes.
So you were that kid. You were that kid that always took stuff apart, and your parents were like freaking out, like, "Oh no, he took it apart again."
They would leave me with a babysitter, and I would just go to town with my dad's tools, just taking everything apart. And they put an end to that one day when they came home, and you know, I was taking appliances apart because I wanted to see how it works, you know. So I got in trouble. I got my ass whooped.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But you know, over the years, I really got interested in mechanical stuff. And then how things functioned inside out. Things really interested me, like electronics. You know, that was a big thing. Like I was like, how does this work?
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
When I used to watch my dad do stuff in the shop, you know, it was, I was always like, I want to do that. I want to be able to figure things out and fix stuff or build things, you know. And then over the years, you know, my brother got interested into motorcycles and he started building bikes here and there and tinkering, and I was like, I got to do that.
Oh,
and he started getting on the track, and he's doing track days, and I was like, oh, no way. And then, you know, my dad always used to, like, long time ago, used to say, bikes will kill, you know, they're dangerous, don't ever buy a bike.
You got to be careful. I mean, honestly, and even in today's world, you know, you got to really be careful. If you're going to ride, you got to be defensive. You got to always think defensive because, you know what, it's a scary world out there. It really is. You're right.
For a long time, and I can tell you, I've had a lot of close calls, and majority of those were other people not paying attention or whatever.
Yep, they don't see you.
Yeah, so my pops always used to say, don't, you know, because he was worried for us. It wasn't that he didn't want us doing this stuff. And
that's awesome.
Then my brother started racing, and then my dad's like, let's get a trailer, and we'll do track days. And so, like, it would be like, you know, us three would go and watch my brother race, and we had fun, and my dad bought a bike. You know, it was like, I was like, here we go. And then I graduated high school, and they got me a motorcycle. So that's when it, you know, pretty much all started. And I started building bikes, man. And, you know, I built my first bike in a shed, you know.
Well, yeah, of course.
You know, so things.
That's awesome.
Over the years, you know, I decided, you know, I'm really going to learn as much as I can. I'm going to teach myself things. I'm going to, every day I would, you know, power of, you know, well, actually, I read a lot of reference manuals and, you know, service manuals and stuff like that. But, like, YouTube and Google and everything else. So I started learning. I was like, you know, if I don't know how to do something, I'm going to teach myself. I started hanging out with people that worked on bikes, and I, you know, would go to shops and stuff and just ask questions. Or
you do all kinds of things too, like build your own parts, welding, just like everything,
fabricate stuff. So I like to be handy, and I don't like to rely on other people. Obviously, I have to for some things, you know. So over time, I just kind of taught myself how to do pretty much everything. And
even like this graphic design stuff, like over here, like this is incredible. Like you do these, you know, the graphic designs on all these, and look at this. You got the Dodo made, you know,
some insulated tumblers.
I got
minimalist wallets here. You know, some bike stuff.
And then humidors,
I got some humidors here for smoking cigars. I designed this 3-dimensional cigar holder here. This is Sapel wood, you know, to hold your cigar when you're smoking.
That's cool.
Stuff like that. Some of you guys that watch, maybe or maybe not, I do smokers as well. So I have these cocktail smokers. This one's well used and abused. This one's got a bike on it. So maybe later we can smoke a whiskey.
Yeah, well, that sounds like it might be a plan. I don't know.
There's some motorcycle sprockets I made into coasters.
Cool.
So some stuff like that. So you know,
very creative. Very creative.
I have to stay creative. So that's one of the reasons why I started this e-commerce company here.
Yeah.
So I can make cool stuff. You know, make people happy, make myself happy.
Yeah.
Enjoy some whiskey and cigars while I'm at it.
And these are all for sale on your website.
That's right.
Which is, I've got the link below. So
thank you.
That is awesome, man.
That.
That is really, really
and I'm
awesome.
local too, so
yeah,
makes it easy.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's my go-to.
All right, this is the go-to, huh?
Yeah.
Glenlivet, and we're going to do a little smoking little thing here. Yeah. So this is cool, man. I'm thinking this is going to be a lot of fun.
We'll do a little pour here.
Little pour.
Yeah. Rich is driving. So
I am driving, so you know.
So I'll send the bottle with. No, just kidding. Just kidding. So we'll do. I'll show you how the smoker works here that I make.
All right, this is cool.
Some, oak wood chips.
You putting oak wood chips in there?
Yeah, we'll do oak, unless you like hickory or something.
No, I think this. Okay. You know, honestly, smoking really does change the flavor of the whiskeys. It really, really does. It makes them kind of more mellow in a way, I think,
mellows them out,
and really gives them some really crazy flavors, which I love. Man, look at that. Boom.
So there's that. We'll take our little lid here.
Yep.
Cap that off.
Got enough to do that one too?
Yeah, I like mine a little smokier. So.
Okay. Oh, okay.
We'll smoke this guy.
Smoke this one.
I'm glad you came over so we can have a drink and hang out.
I am really glad we came. This is awesome, man. I'm really enjoying this so much.
I'm glad we got together. The weather's beautiful.
Yep.
Get to hang out in the shop a little bit.
Yep. 100%.
I told Rich, I said, I talk a little too much, so cut me off.
No. Not at all. I mean, honestly, Dr. D, this has been just awesome and so much fun. Well, we're enjoying these drinks here. And, you know, I got one last question I got to ask you, though.
Yeah.
You know, I'm thinking about buying a bike. I'm all over the place. I'm debating about, should it be a sport bike? Should it be like a Harley, a little bit more of a cruiser, you know, kind of thing? What's your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
You buy the bike based on, you know, figure out what kind of riding you're going to do. You know, I always tell people, I know some guys that are retired and up in age that ride longer and better than I do on a sport bike. And I know some people my age that, or younger, that can't ride a sport bike for very long.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure.
A lot of leader bikes like the R1 or Gixxer 1000 or any, you know, any of the super bikes, or, you know, they're great bikes, but are you really going to utilize the power and the suspension and the braking on public roads?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Sure, if you want to have some fun in the straightaways. You know, I tell this people all the time. I've been riding my R1 for, you know, pile of years. I built it back in like '09, and I enjoy it and I love it. But do you really utilize the bike for what it's intended for? And are you really going to enjoy that ride a couple hours into it? You know? Yeah. So, like I was telling Rich, you know, I love my bike to death. The reason why I have a variety of motorcycles and why I'm building different bikes is, you know, if I'm, you know, feeling under the weather, or I want to go for a 4 or 5 hour ride, I'm going to hop on something more comfortable. I could ride this Harley, you know, for 4, 5, 6 hours and then go home and feel okay. You know, if I hop on my R1, my wrist, my neck, my back, you know, I'm leaning forward.
It's a awkward,
Now, I enjoy anything on wheels, so to me, it's hard to, you know, it's hard to disappoint me. When you're driving a car or any of the motorcycles, but. You really want to buy something that at the end of the day is going to make you happy. When you open up that garage door and you get on that thing, you're going to be like, you know what? I want to stop.
Yeah.
But what does it for you? Is it the speed? Is it the cornering? Is it the comfort? Is it a little bit of everything? So there really isn't a perfect answer. I can't tell you what's going to be perfect for you. You got to tell me what you like. Like I said, I've met like an 80-year-old with a Ducati, you know, a super bike, and he loves it.
Wow.
You know. So.
Well, I'm not quite that old yet, but you know, I mean, a Ducati, I'm not sure about that one, but. You know what? That's great advice, and it's great advice for people that are, I think, looking at this, you know, maybe thinking about a bike, you know, for this upcoming season. So, again, man, awesome, dude.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.
You know, I always like to leave you with something positive. My positive thought is today, you know, I don't care who you're hanging around with, always look for the positive in that person. Because you know what? If you look for the positive in that person, you're going to make your day brighter. If you look for the negatives, you can always find them. And if you concentrate on the negatives, you'll destroy relationships. Look for the positive. Be positive. Have a great day. This is Neighbor Rich. I'll see you in the next one.
See you guys.
See ya.